Welcome back, everyone. We're back to I Cook, She Drinks. Today, what I want to do a little episode on mashed potatoes. So everyone has their favorite mashed potatoes. My mother's mashed potatoes, your mother's mashed potatoes. You know, some are lumpy, some are smooth, some are creamy. I'll be honest. I like my mashed potatoes with the skins on, cleaned. I like them smashed. Smashed potatoes, they're quick, they're easy. And for me, I like that texture after you smash them. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you the 5 best ways to do garlic smashed potatoes. We're gonna use the same basic base, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a few extra ingredients to each one to make it simple and special each time. You can customize the flavors with whatever food you're doing. So let's go ahead. I have my pot here with my pre-boiled mashed potatoes or pre-boiled potatoes. Now, I like to use red potatoes, something about the color, something about the texture of the skin. I just really enjoy them. So stay tuned. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna mash these up, put these aside. I'm gonna make some sauces to go into the potato, and I'm gonna fold that sauce into the potatoes to make a really spectacular dish for your entrees. Follow me soon. Okay, so again, I'm just smashing these potatoes. I'm not trying to make anything super creamy yet. That will happen when I add the sauce to it, and we'll cream it up. Take a look. There it is right there. That's how it should look. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this here. I've got my basil that came out of my garden, and I've basically minced it and pureed it in my food processor and added olive oil to it. I have a little bit of chicken seasoning and stock. The powder, I know I'll take heat for that, but I'm gonna tell you something, it adds great flavor to the food. I have garlic, minced garlic here as well. So if any of you watched the other shows, you've seen some of my sauces I've created. This just goes to show you, you can have 4 or 5 different sauces, 7 or 8 different ingredients, and do about 20 or 30 different menu items. These are just very strong bases with really good flavor. And you know what? I'll be honest, if you stick to the basics, your food is gonna be the best. Okay, follow me to the pan. We'll go ahead and get these started. Okay, so we're at the pan. Pan's nice and warm, okay? First thing you wanna do, you're gonna add your herbs first. So I have my fresh rosemary that's gonna go in the hot pan. You can hear it sizzle as soon as it touches the pan. Now, one of the things you have to be careful of is not to burn the herbs. If you do, you're gonna get really bitter and a pungent flavor in the sauce, and you may as well throw it out because it'll taste like shit. So I'm gonna add a little bit of oil to this, just a touch. And the reason you wanna do that, you wanna coat your pan as well. But you want to get the flavors out of that, the rosemary. And this, man, as soon as I put that in, that's the first thing I can smell. I can smell that rosemary cooking off. It's infusing the oil in the pan. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add my teaspoon, a healthy teaspoon of minced garlic. Make sure it's evenly spread so it's cooking evenly in the pan. If you just clump it on top of each other, one side's gonna burn, and again, you're gonna lose that really buttery and nutty flavor of the garlic, and it's gonna become pungent and bitter. Okay, so we have that there. What are we missing? That's right, we're missing white wine. We're gonna put the white wine in. Amanda, can you pass me the cream out of the fridge, please? I'm gonna turn the heat down a little bit. Let that take its time and get the flavor out of the rosemary. I'm gonna add some heavy cream. Don't use coffee cream, don't use blend, don't use anything under 32%. 31, 30 okay, but you want 32% to 35% cream. You really want this sauce to be thick. So as I'm letting that sit in there, okay, I'm gonna keep the heat down. I'm gonna come and grab some other ingredients here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add my seasoning, just a touch. And you know what? Until you're used to gathering what you're gonna put in your pan, I recommend you put a little bit in, taste it, put a little bit in, taste it. I mean, ultimately, you want this to taste pretty good, and you don't wanna over-salt it. Then you waste a whole batch of food. So what I want you guys to do is pay attention to the thickness and the consistency of your sauce. If you're finding that the sauce is separating, that means you've overcooked it. Add a bit more cream if it's not too late, maybe a touch more wine if you have to, but never separate your sauce. It'll look like it'll look greasy, and honestly, it makes terrible for presentation and the flavor. As you can see, the pan's getting hot again. I got my seasoning in there. I got the rosemary, the garlic is all good. So what I'm gonna do now, I have my mashed potatoes. I'm just gonna go over and I'm gonna grab some of the mashed potato. I'm gonna put it in the pan, okay? gonna push it down. I'm gonna sit around the outside, just like that. Take it off the heat. Just push in there, heat up the potatoes, let the sauce fold around it. And just like scrambled eggs, I'm gonna push it through, okay? Rub it through. And you can see all that working into the potatoes, okay? Don't ask me why I used a spatula to rub that through. I could use a spoon. But you can see that going through there. Now at this stage, the potatoes should be nice and soft and getting warm. Mixing it through. There we go. And one of the secret ingredients I always use for the potatoes, just to punch it up a little bit, add some sharpness to the dish. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add some Parmesan cheese. So my Parmesan cheese is already shredded. There we go, look at that. Oh my God, the smell. You're not gonna find better mashed potatoes than this. I don't care what grandma's recipe's like. No one wants runny, pureed, doughy potatoes. This here is fantastic. So this one here is a roasted garlic and rosemary white wine cream, Parmesan cheese, and cracked black pepper potato. That's the first one. So the second one's gonna have a little bit different flavor. This one is a little bit softer. It's gonna be just as creamy, but it's not gonna be as power-packed as that rosemary is. So I'm gonna use sage. So the same operations. I'm gonna take the sage. See that sage right there? This is a little bit floppy, this one. I'm gonna put it in my hot pan. And again, as soon as that hits, you can hear it sear a little bit. I have no butter in there yet. And the smell of that sage is really, really nice. It's soft. It already has like a creamy smell to it. So what I'm gonna do is pull some, probably about, I'm gonna use, put a tablespoon of butter in here with that sage. And I don't want this to burn. I wanna keep that nice saltiness and that buttery flavor with the sage. Oh man, I say, can you smell that? No, you can't, but I'm telling you, this is the bomb. Oh my God. Follow me over to these people over here, come here. Smell that sage. How's that smell?
Yeah, it's going a little bit.
The bomb.
The bomb.
The bomb.
So this is, and again, this is why I love cooking. You can create, and when you find your own flavor and your own style of cooking, you know, you really enjoy what you do and you enjoy cooking it. So, you know, I recommend everybody, once you find the foods that you like and you enjoy cooking them, try them over and over and try different things. Be scared to make mistakes, because out of the mistakes, you can come up with a really fantastic dish. Okay, so I've got that going here. I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic to it. Just a little bit. Because sage is easy to overpower. You just want a little bit of garlic for those potatoes. This will start to brown. Now, once this browns, I'm gonna do the very same operations I did before. I'm gonna add my white wine, I'm gonna add my heavy cream, all right? And again, what don't we want? No coffee cream, no milk. I've seen my wife, her mother came over trying to make pasta when she was drunk, and she used milk in the pasta. God, I didn't taste it, but I can only imagine what it tasted like. Sorry, Doris, I had to call you out.
It worked. I know, it's really bad.
All right, so we're gonna add some white wine now. Just a touch. Get the white wine. Okay, I'm gonna add my cream that someone took from me. Someone took my cream.
Put it away again.
All right.
We're just waiting for a drink.
There we go.
What?
I said he cooks, she drinks.
All right, so now we have that in there. I'm gonna let it turn the heat down just a little bit, so I don't want that cream sauce to burn. And again, a term that professionals use, I think still, is called nappe. And nappe is when your sauce becomes creamy enough that when you put a spoon in it, you lift the spoon out and it'll coat it, but it won't drip. And that's kind of what you want here. So again, what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab your seasoning, whatever salt you'd like, and do it to taste, okay? Then I'm gonna add some cracked black peppercorns. And you can see that sauce really coming together now. Oh my God, the smell, it's amazing. I'd sit here and eat potatoes all day if I could. I did, sometimes. Oh my God, that's amazing. All right, I'm gonna take it off the heat, I'm gonna fold it into the potatoes, and then I'm gonna start the next one. So again, this is the sage, butter, garlic, and cream white wine smashed potatoes. There's a lot of shit in there. All right, we're good. Okay, so we've got 2 down, 3 to go. Next one on the list is one of my favorites. And again, you know, I'm very passionate about potatoes, I guess. It's one of those home, warm, cooked foods. Everyone has them. You have them at Thanksgiving, Christmas, I don't know, maybe Hanukkah, maybe Bar Mitzvah, I don't know, wherever you have them. Potatoes are everywhere, okay? And to have a potato that's the same all the time gets boring. These sauces are gonna make your potatoes pump. They're gonna make them pound, and people are gonna come back looking for more. They'll be begging you for more potatoes. The next one, basil, garlic cream, white wine, cheese, parmesan, in the potatoes. Sounds like a lot of shit, right? It is, but it's gonna blow your mind. Follow me. Okay, we got the pan on good here. So I'm gonna be a little bit liberal. I'm gonna put lots of garlic in this. This is more of the garlic and basil cream, okay? So I'm gonna do equal parts garlic, equal parts minced basil, fresh from the garden, okay? And I want this to cook evenly. And again, same thing. You can smell this right off the hop. As soon as it goes into that hot pan, that flavor just comes pounding right out in the smell and the aroma. Don't let it burn. Again, if you let it burn, you'll ruin the sauce. Oh my God, that smells so good. You know what? Forget it. I'm gonna put a bit more basil in there. That smells amazing. Just a touch more. So, again, try to keep it equal parts. My basil's really strong. It's fresh out of my garden. So some will be a little bit stronger. Try to avoid using dried basil and dried herbs. You don't get the same flavor. And every time I think of that, I think of like, I don't know, going to a cheap restaurant and then just throwing cheap stuff on your food with no flavor. It's just there for look. Try to use the fresh stuff. Most farmers markets and your grocery stores carry it certain times a year. And you probably don't want to be cooking these potatoes every day, or you're gonna look like this guy here. Or if you follow me over here, you're gonna look like Fat David. All right, so I'm browning this garlic right here with the basil in the pan. We'll keep that heat up a little bit. All right, so if you come and take a look, you're gonna see that nice golden color it's turning right now, okay? This is exactly where you wanna add your wine. There's a little few bigger chunks of garlic in there, okay? Don't worry about those, they'll get cooked out. Once the small ones start to turn brown, you let them go too long, they'll get bitter. There's the wine. I'm gonna get my cream. They stole my cream again. I'm gonna keep it over here with me. Heavy cream. And just wash that in the pan. Gonna add my seasoning and my cracked black pepper. Sorry, Salt Bay. All right, now I'm gonna let that reduce. And again, it's the same process. It's not difficult to do. Just keep an eye on that sauce. Again, if you over-reduce your sauce, you're gonna have an oily, separated mess, okay? Like a really bad divorce. You're supposed to laugh at that.
I haven't experienced that one yet.
You keep it up and you might.
I prefer curry.
I prefer. Okay, so, and again, the smells, and you'll see very similar, but the smell with the basil, again, is a little bit different. Smell that? In the sauce?
Oh, yeah.
Very nice.
I bet a white wine would go really nice with that.
Yeah.
You basically made a base for pasta.
Yeah, it's a pasta base, really. Yeah. And I have another pasta I've done already. Okay, So while that's doing its thing, I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna grab some scoops of my smashed potatoes. I'll carry that over. I'll fold it in. One. I'm gonna put a bit extra in there because I'm gonna eat some of this. All right, pull it off the heat. And I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna fold it in. Okay, so push it through. All right, I'll meet you at the plate with the rest of them. Stay tuned. Okay, so we have 3 down. Don't look at them. You're not gonna see them yet, you have to wait till the final reveal. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the next one. This one is just gonna be a cilantro and roasted garlic potato. Again, very simple, doesn't have to be fancy. Just basically put it in the pan, you cook it up, you fold it in, you plate it, it's good to go. You ready? Let's go to the pan. Okay, so we're back. We had a malfunction in the pan. I didn't turn the burner on. So, cilantro's already in the pan, all right? And we're gonna add the garlic. We're back in here, garlic's browning. Everything is good to go. Okay, I'm gonna add my white wine. And my cream is here because no one stole it this time. All right. What's next? Come on, guys. Get some seasoning in here. How many times have we seen this and you didn't know what was next? All right.
Heavy cream.
Heavy cream, seasoning, and what's next?
Pepper.
Pepper. At least someone was paying attention.
I don't cook. We've established that. So why would I
You just keep drinking.
pay attention?
Keep drinking.
Yes.
She would rather devour pizza and nachos than anything else. But if you stick around, you're gonna see me make some really fantastic pizza, and I'm gonna make some fantastic nachos. All right, so the sauce is done. You wanna take a look at this? This is how it looks. This is how it should be browning. Look at that. Starting to get brown on the sides. That cream sauce. Oh my God. Look at my chin. All right, we're good. I'm gonna add in my potatoes, and then we're gonna go to the plate with this one. Stay tuned for the final reveal. Fold that all in there. And again, you can add what other seasoning you want to this. If you want more pepper. I even heard some people adding mustard into their potatoes. I like mustard, and I think I would try that at some point. I haven't yet. Maybe I'll do an episode where I'm trying it out. There is a really good mustard I want to try out. Kind of not related, but Coslick's Canadian mustard. I love this stuff. I'm going to be using this on my black and shrimp episode. Black harp. Oh, it is sharp and it is spicy. Can't get enough of this. Check out Coslick's Canadian mustard. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna do the very last one. What this is I didn't talk about it initially, but I wanted to throw that in there. The reason why, this is something completely different. If you wanna be a little bit experimental with your potatoes and go a little bit off base, I'm gonna do a curried potato. Now, everyone, again, you can add whatever flavors you want to whatever you have. No one tells you what you can and cannot do. I'm not watching Gordon Ramsay and saying, oh, he makes it that way, it has to be done that way. I'm not walking Malto Mario and saying my pastas have to look that way. This is something that I really enjoy and I like. Experiment with your food, try different things. I'm gonna show you why. So I've got my pan, it's nice and hot. I'm gonna add in my garlic. All right, 2 teaspoons of garlic. I'm gonna grab my diced red and orange peppers, put them in here. I'll let that brown, okay? As this is browning, I'm gonna get my ingredients ready. I've got my Indian curry right here. You know what? I bought these little dishes in the thoughts that I'd have these cute little spoons here to be able to pick them and scoop stuff in. I don't even know why I have them. I use my fingers. I'm like, not even worth it. Just use your fingers, wash your hands. Don't lick them before you put them back in the pans if you're serving people. If you are, don't let them see you. Toss this up. All right, so be a little bit generous with the curry because remember, this is going into some potatoes. I just spilled it all over my hands. Maybe those spoons would have been a good idea. Too late now, forget about it. Wash your hands, don't lick them. Okay, we're good. All right, so, oh man, you can really smell that. So it's still browning. The smell is immense. We got a little bit of peppers here left over. I'm gonna toss those in. All right, so what I want to do to add some sweetness to this, I'm gonna add a little bit of fresh honey. Fresh honey, I guess really fresh because it's fresh out of my bottle. I'm gonna add it in the pan. I'm gonna add the honey after though because I don't want that to burn or stick to my pan. I'm gonna add some white wine. I'm gonna add some heavy cream. Well, look at that color. I love it. Look how rich that color is. And this will be a rich sauce. We'll let that reduce. Okay. We'll give that about a minute at medium heat. As we're doing that, you could even add in a few extra ingredients. I'm not going to do it right now, but you could throw in some chili flakes, some cayenne, a few other things if you wanted. But right now, we'll just keep it basic. This is a very good base, and you know what? This exact sauce here that I'm making before we fold into the mashed potatoes, you can use for a really good pasta that's good with chicken. It's good for even soup bases. Add in some sliced or diced apples and make a soup out of it. Add some potatoes, whole potatoes. It's fantastic. All right, I'm gonna add my honey. I'm gonna put a tablespoon of honey in there. That'll really enhance the flavor. Now, you're gonna have the sweet, you're gonna have the flavor of the vegetables, you're gonna have the curry, but what you're not gonna have is the salt. So this here, use your regular salt, toss that in. That was about 4 or 5 pinches. All right. And again, let's get a taste of this. You kidding me? This is amazing. You gotta try this at home. Now, one of the things that can worry you about this sauce is that if you over brown the curry, immediately you get this burnt flavor. You have to make sure you don't overcook it and don't go too far with it like anything, and you'll have a nice, really nutty flavor with the cream, the onion, the pepper. It's fantastic. Wait till you see this in the potatoes. All right, we're gonna go out and plate these potatoes up. We're gonna show them all lined out, and then you comment in the section below what you think is the best looking, and if you've tried it, what one's the best for you. Let's go to the plate. Okay, so this is the end result. What we have here is a very fantastic assortment of mashed potatoes that anyone can cook at home. Very simple. Criticize how I cook. If it's too fat, it's not good, I'm gonna get fat. It's too salty, it's too this. I'm gonna tell you something, I don't care what you think. I've been eating this stuff for 25 years and I love it. So the first thing we're gonna take a look at here, what I wanna point out is I've added a little bit of garnish to this dish. Not because I want it to look pretty, because it's really not that pretty. But what I want you to take a look at is the flavors I added to this. So I have a chive oil that's down here, okay? You can rub your potatoes, put it over the top of the potatoes for a little bit of extra flavor. I have caramelized red onions with an applesauce mixed in with it. That there can go with any one of these potatoes. It can go with the curry, the sage, the rosemary, you know, any of these flavors here, the basil, it'll all go well. This here looks like a cute little flower. I didn't really try that, but it looks like that. So again, this here is a fantastic dish. You know, sometimes people will serve up more than one type of potato. It's a little bit time consuming, but you can do it. We always have those picky eaters. Amanda?
Do you make potato pizza?
I could make a potato pizza. I could do a gnocchi pasta pizza, but we'll talk about that in a different episode. So right now, these are the potatoes. Again, I hope you had fun watching I Cook, She Drinks. I am cooking, she's been drinking, and we're gonna go to the plate, final reveal. Hope you enjoyed the show. See you next time. Okay, so we've got our 5 potatoes. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and dig in. Let me know which one's your favorite.
Right on. Let's start it from the left to right.
Okay. Now remember, we have that caramelized onion you can add after or to, just to add to that flavor.
Okay.
All right. Okay, they say ladies first.
Oh, you're so
Dig in.
sweet, Martin.
That's what they say.
What do you think of the curry?
It's just a gentle amount.
I like it.
Very nice.
I'll try this with the next one.
Very nice.
This is-
Caramelized onion is my favorite. I love adding that to a lot of different things because it absorbs some of the flavor of the foods that you're eating. And it's very simple to make. You just put it in a pan with a little bit of butter. You let it reduce down, add some port wine, a touch of sugar, pull it off, and there you go. I don't even season it. And then with this one, I added a little bit of pureed apple in it.
This one's my favorite.
The rosemary?
Oh,
Yeah, mine too.
my
Yeah,
favorite.
My favorite.
Yeah, this is my second.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Very filling.
The rosemary for sure.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
the rosemary one is out of this world.
Is that the one that you always make? The rosemary
Yeah.
one I like? That's good too.
The sage. Oh, that one's the cilantro.
I love cilantro.
So let's get a 1 to 5 on your favorites, okay? So let's put together quickly from 1 to 5, which one was your favorite? If you were gonna try these at home, because I mean, they're all good,
Yeah.
but which one would you try first? Number 1,
One.
rosemary. Number 2, I think we've agreed that the
basil.
basil cream
Basil.
pasta, yeah, or the basil cream potato.
Uh-huh.
Then we would go with the curry,
Yeah.
Curry, yeah, and then
then
the
cilantro, and then the
Yeah.
sage.
Yeah.
Yes. No, the sage is good too.
It's hard to pick, really.
It's hard
when
to
you
pick.
get-
I
I
know.
feel like this is more like, this was more dry.
David, I think the rosemary is number 1. This is number 2, and this is kind of even.
Yeah.
And after I go with the curry.
Yeah.
But this beer is delicious.
Truly, all of them are really good.
And you know what, guys, if you want to make these mashed potatoes and just throw a piece of chicken on there, you can do that. If you want to have it with steak, you can do that. If you want to just have potatoes by themselves and add whatever protein you want, it can be added. I've even added some of this into a soup. So I've added the potato into the soup, fold it in. That way I'm not adding flour and a bunch of other stuff to the soup. It's a great way to season things as well. All right, guys? You guys have had fun?
Great time.
Cheers.
Beautiful
Good beers.
food.
Good food.
Yes.
Thank you very much for tuning in to I Cook. I said tuning, I meant not chewing, tuning in to I Cook, She Drinks. See you in the next episode.
I am going to talk about one of my favorite everyday wines. It's totally affordable. It's like under $15 Canadian usually. And something really cool about it is it's got its name from the cellar that it's made in.